Good morning. Welcome to Weekly Wednesday. Good afternoon. Good evening. God bless. I just want to let you all know you're listening to Weekly Wednesday with Dr. Paul, and I am Dr. Paul. How you doing? I just want to get some little things out of the way. I just had sorry about that. I just had a great donation done to one of the charities that I'm working with, and I'd like to thank all the people who are working with us to move things forward for human trafficking. And also, again, I'd like to thank all my sponsors who have sponsored and who have helped me keep my podcast going. I'd like to thank all the ones who are listening. I'd like to thank all of you for participating and sending me the emails you have sent me through drpaulholisticscience.com, and you can reach me always there. So, Weekly Wednesday, I want to talk about a memory and things that happen every day when we are going through something, especially if it's a deep traumatic memory and things are very personal to me always, because if I don't talk about anything I'm not living through or in or around. And I think we can all have some reference point of things, right? So when something gets triggered, it could be, smell and sight and any of the senses. When something gets triggered, and this goes back to the emotional reaction training I talk about, is understanding what is being triggered and how it's being triggered. So knowing who you are and what you are and where you are, know thyself, right? Know thyself, let thyself be true. So when something happens, and things happen, and it creates this tension inside of you. And you can listen to other podcasts about how to get rid of tension, things like that. But it creates a tension, and you may not know how it manifests. Let's go with you not knowing how it manifests. It will create turmoil. It's just, if you are getting angry and you don't even know why, the reason you're so upset is because it triggered a traumatic memory. You may never know what the memory is, and that has something to do with working on yourself, digging into yourself, seeking help. And there's some beautiful people out there I know who work in this profession that you can talk to and things like that. And people have talked to me and things how I do with work. But it's a trauma, right? Now, say you do know where it comes from, and you have exactly a reason why it's creating this anxiety. Because if you know where it comes from, you're not really upset. It just creates anxiety. And anxiety is upsetting to most. But you're not as much angry if you know where it comes from. You may still have anxiety. And anxiety, yes, is debilitating for people. But so you know where it comes from, and you know how it was manifested, and you know how it creates an action within, and it creates an action externally. Talking about it to the person it created is going to heal it. Say you don't want to talk about to that person anymore. Say it's something like, that person's dead, that person was so mean, whatever happens. So, there's some things that are so sensitive that talking about it to that person will never do you any good except more harm. It's just a fact, right? So, but now if you're with someone, you're with a family member, partner, lover, whatever child, and that's someone that's in your life that's a closer relationship than most, and you're going through this issue because something triggered it, talking about it to that person is going to help the complete relationship. It just is. Now, don't look at it as having you have to explain yourself to anyone. That's not the same as talking about it with someone. But if you are able to express yourself and say, listen, when you did this, it triggered this from this memory, and I know I was very anxious and very bitey and snippy and snarky with you, is because of this situation, because it reminded me of this. It reminded me of that. And I'm taking it out on you because I'm taking it out on myself. We can work through it. We can talk about it. And I do need your patience and kindness and compassion. There it is. Patience, kindness, and compassion. Because the other person doesn't have an answer for you. They can really technically never help you. Matter of fact, they feel more weak than anything because what they did is what triggered it. Now, whatever they didn't mean to trigger your reaction and your traumatic memory. And for them, it's going to cause them to put them on pause, because every time they move or do, they're going to say, oh no, the person that I care for is going to trigger this. So it kind of puts them in a different situation, and it puts them in a different memory. It may not be as traumatic, but it does put them in an emotional memory response. And we can talk about later on another Weekly Wednesday on emotional memory response. But what I want to get to real quick and just say, if you're going through a traumatic memory, talk about it. Kindness, compassion, and love, right? And patience. That's what we all need. Understand where it manifests from. This way you won't get so angry. It may still create anxiety, and anxiety can be cured. Anger is just anger, and it creates hate, and hate within self and outside of yourself. But if you understand the anxiety and what can cause, this way you can help clear it up with different modalities and different treatments and exercises that you can do emotionally. So I wish you all well on Weekly Wednesday. I'm Dr. Paul. Reach out and touch me anytime you want. Thank you.